here today. And hope that we will get out of here before too much rain comes our way from the storm. So we'll go ahead and get started.
Small in number, but great in spirit. Sing with me.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light how so proudly we hail at the twilight's last gleaming, whose bright stripes and bright stars through the perilous fire for the ramparts we walked, were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets with flare was bursting in air. We proved that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Pray with me, please. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all these members of this Rotary Club and those around the world who strive to do service above self. Bless the leaders of this club, the leaders of our district, be with our national leaders as well as our state and local leaders. Give them the wisdom to keep us free. And bless this food to the nourishment of our bodies and us to thy service. In thy name I pray. Everybody have a seat. I got an announcement while I'm up here. I was going to go ahead and make an announcement. On your table, you will find a flyer about the fundraiser for the Boy Scout Golf Challenge coming up October 1st at Highland Oaks. They're 4-man scramble, and on the back side of the page are the sponsor levels that you can participate in. One thing we do look for at this tournament is to have community, what we call a community sponsor, that if you do not play golf, but your business would like to support the local law enforcement, fire department that put together teams, we'll be happy for you to make a donation and get them on the course for that day of golf out at Highland Oaks. If you have any questions, please see or me or Cal Whaley. We both serve on the committee this fundraiser. Thank you.
Thank you. Terry, family the Rotary.
Thank you, President Sheila and Governor Bruce. Nice to be in front of distinguished people. On birthdays, a couple on the August the 18th, Michael Maddox and Bill Durden. Word was that they were going to get together and have a party. That would be some kind of party, but due to COVID, I think that party was canceled. Leland McGrady on August 21st, and anniversaries, Lawrence Johnson and Kendall on August the 22nd. The weather coming, I hope everybody has got the hatches battened down, and please be safe. Thank you.
Right. Introduction of guests and visiting Rotarians. Troy, Fountain.
Thank you, President Sheila. We're happy to welcome all of our guests today and visiting Rotarians. When I call your name, could you please stand and remain standing until all of the visitors are recognized. Brandon Shute is a visiting Rotarian from our Tuesday Club. And that's it for the day. Brandon, welcome. Glad you guys are here. Thank you for visiting with us, and thank you everyone for being here. And I'll get out of the way so we can batten down the hatches quicker as well.
Thanks, Joy. All right, our camp has the drawing. Kathy, are you ready first? All right, and last score, 47-69. How many points do we have? 13 points.
What are the odds? What are the odds? No,
Not today.
today. Not today.
Okay. All right. So I have a little video that Josh is going to play for us in just a minute, but our club committed to building and helping maintain the Miracle League field and playground, and I think it's nice to look back on this accomplishment. So Mike put together a little show for us. This was the summer of 2010, which was 11 years ago. Most of the pictures are from the day our club worked with the Tuesday Club and other groups during the community workday to assemble some of the equipment for the playground. You'll see some familiar faces, but especially look for these shirts. Okay, Josh? So if you notice in this slide, the M is missing out of there. Sorry, Mike, I should have tested the sound. But the sound was the guy singing, serve to change lives. And so it was from our theme this year. But I thought it was pretty cool that there were so many Rotarians with these shirts on. And the Miracle Field was and is our project. So today, I have a check for the Miracle League Foundation from our club to help with the necessary maintenance, like to get that M back up there, to replace the other letters. So we still owe the city of Dothan for some maintenance, and we're planning a program the end of September. Where we'll learn more about Miracle League, and you will be given an opportunity to make a donation to this great resource that's in our community that has the Rotary name on it. Something for us to be proud of. George Flowers couldn't be here today, but he has done a lot of work to make this possible, coordinating with the Tuesday Club, but like I said, he just, didn't make it here today. James, though, is serving as our foundation president. And Bruce has served for many years and led the Rotary Miracle Foundation, so seems appropriate to give them the check today. So I want to thank them both for serving to change lives, for all they do, and thank you for all you do to change lives. So here's a check from our club for the Rotary Miracle Foundation to both of you.
Let's say this word.
Yes.
Thank you, Sheila, and on behalf of the Rotary Foundation, we thank you, and also this will be matching with the Tuesday Club, and we'll be making a presentation to City of Dothan that we obligated our clubs to several years ago for the maintenance of the field. The field is actually looks brand new because it has not been used that well.
Hasn't been used that much, due to, of course, last year it wasn't able to be used because of the pandemic. And we weren't able to have it this summer, but all, is trying to see if we can have a fall program this year with the Miracle League. Also, it's already, it's in process now. All the lettering is going to be changed, sort of in order, and it's going to have a new letter there. Instead of fixing it's that M, we realized that it's been up there a long time. So we're going to replace the whole lettering there, so it will say, that we, because what's happening, that was plastic, and so it, I think we need to change the microphones. It was a plastic, but over a period of time with the sun and the weather conditions. With weather, well, I don't think it's doing it all. Volume's bad. Hello?
That's why my video didn't work.
Hello?
Yeah.
Now, is it better?
Yeah.
Okay. The weather causes that plastic to deteriorate over time, so the foundation board decided we would go ahead and replace it all, and that's the process being done. Hopefully, talking with the city of Dothan, they're planning on trying to have a fall league. We just have to wait and see how everything goes with the pandemic and conditions that may prevail itself in the next 30 days. So be looking out for that. Thank you very much for your help with the Miracle League.
Thank you, James.
I'm sorry, how much did you say the money was? I missed that.
6,800, 6,800.
Okay, thank you.
And that matches what the Tuesday Club presented also earlier. Okay, Josh has an announcement.
We made an announcement last week. I just wanted to reiterate again this week. This Saturday will be the next Love Dothan project, neighborhood cleanup project. It'll start at 8 a.m., but if you'd like to participate, try to be there around 7:45. We will be cleaning up in the Chapelwood and Green Acres neighborhoods. We'll be meeting at Pathway Baptist Church, which is across from Chapelwood on Flowers Chapel. So hope to see some of you out there. They do ask that it's really helpful if we give them a total number of participants that are coming from Rotary, so they can kind of piece us at the site that makes the most sense. So if you'd like to come help out, we'll be doing some just basic yard work. If you'd like to come help out, you're welcome to see me, President Sheila, or Davis Flowers. So hope to see y'all out there. Do we need to bring any tools? Rakes? Let's see. Whatever. They give us a little, they give us some ideas. Lawnmowers, string trimmers, chainsaws, pole saws, looping shears, pruning shears. So yeah, anything that you have that you think would be beneficial, please bring it.
Know how to use.
Thank you, Josh. All right, so the only other announcement, is this doing anything? I thought.
Yeah, it is. It is.
August is Rotary Membership Month focus. So remember our theme, everyone bring one. And so now I'll ask James to come back and introduce our speaker.
Okay, maybe it needs to be grounded. Okay. I don't really think we need to give a whole lot of introduction, but I do have something to those that may not like Bruce, like many of us do. Of course, Bruce is a lifelong resident of Alabama, Dothan, Alabama, and been a Rotarian since 1998. Bruce served in many capacities within our club and was club president in 2007 and 2008. He served 3 years as Assistant District Governor for Area 8. He is a Paul Harris Fellow +4 and a Paul Harris Society member. Bruce was awarded the district's Harry Hall Emeritus Achievement Award and the Doug Barber Award. He has been very active in district activities and has held many district positions over the years. Bruce climbed to the district governor chain as district governor nominee, district governor-elect, and now our district governor. Bruce has been very active in his community, sitting on many community and nonprofit boards. He retired after 20 years of service with the fire service as a battalion chief and 29 years with Southeast Health Medical Center Management Team. He's a deacon and a Sunday school teacher, and Bruce continues to be involved in community activities in many capacities. Bruce has been very active. He's been also active in having a beautiful wife we all know as Angela, and 49 years to be exact. He is a father of 4 children, 6 grandchildren, and now 2 great-grandchildren. So our Dothan fellow Rotarians, please welcome your district governor, Bruce Mcneil.
Thank you, James. You know, Jesus had a tough time in Jerusalem. They knew too much about him. But, you know, he was certainly a special guy, to say the least there. Now, Tom, I appreciate the pressure you put on me. He come up here and he said, I wasn't a member of the Outlaw Club, but I was a member since 1918. And I've seen a lot of district governors come, and district governors go, and I'm watching you close and I'm evaluating you. And I don't know what past district governor Bob Rutter's doing, but I'm sure he's critiquing also. So thanks a lot, guys. First of all, I want to thank the members in this club that are part of my district leadership team. Could not do it without you. Just to name a few, and I'm sure I may leave someone out. I apologize if I do, but you know, Mary Beth, I won't go into all the details of what they're doing for me, but you know, John Gorman, Josh Chapman, and James Etheridge, and you know, of course, Dale is your district governor-elect, of course. In past district Governor Bob Rutter, he's on the College of Governors roster. Willis Smithman and there's some others in the room that are on some subcommittees. So obviously, I could not do without you. Now, Tom was saying, you know, when the district governor comes, usually it's low attendance. And I said, Tom, it's because of the COVID and the storm coming in. It can't be me. But I understand. Well, it has been an interesting last couple of years, and even though we thought we were kind of getting away from the COVID deal, it's still here with us for sure. And in fact, we're on a detour. I was going up to Opelika Rotary Club the other day on 169. Most of you know that road well. And right in the middle of the road, there was this highway patrolman. And like a good Rotarian, I was going to obey his directions, and he was telling me to stop and go to the right, which was obviously a detour. I took a right. I had no clue where I was going, Bob. I did not know where I was coming out. And I got to thinking about it. You know, that's kind of like Rotary the last couple of years. You know, we've had this COVID dilemma, and we don't know where we're going. We don't know where we're coming out at. So it's been a challenge. And thank goodness that particular day, I came back out on 169 and finished my destination. Unfortunately, with COVID, we're not sure where the detour is going to lead us. But as Rotarians, we certainly are keeping the faith. Our international president, his motto was serve to change lives. And everyone in this room certainly has a heart of service, or you wouldn't be here. And I think we can all attest to the fact that this club is certainly service above all. And we appreciate what you do. The other word in the phrase is change, serve to change lives. And good gracious, has there been a lot of changes in Rotary. Now, when Tom started back in 1918, you know, there was just one lawyer and one automobile dealer and, you know, just one of each. So obviously things have changed, Tom. We kind of opened up and relaxed our rules because, you know, the world has changed also. Now, John, normally, you were telling me just a little bit ago that you used to work on car carburetors. In fact, you were so good, you taught young people how to work on car carburetors. And you told them if you would learn this trade, you will always have a job. Now, if you were out at the Chevrolet dealership, it's not the truth anymore, is it? There's still carburetors out there, but you won't find a new car with a carburetor. So those people that learned the skill of working on a carburetor, and that's all they knew, they're in a mess, John. All right. So change is real important. You know, even here in Dothan, Alabama, we had.
I would invite you to take a polygraph examination to learn on license.
Well, just as a side note, I do pick on some people that I said things, Tom, that they really didn't say. But it's just part of the act. If you can get by with it, John, I can too. Then we had a wonderful organization, a company here in Dothan, Alabama called Movie Gallery. And, you know, they were seeing the world on fire. They were buying and selling and increasing. I think at the end, they were probably the biggest VHS rental company in the whole wide world. And then all of a sudden, they were no longer. Okay. They didn't change with the times. They didn't look at the competition. They didn't, you know, find the need of the population there. Of course, they don't exist anymore. So Rotary is the same. The Rotary that Paul Harris envisioned, you know, the core values of Rotary hasn't changed and it never will change. But the way we operate today is certainly different. Paul Harris would be amazed that of all the changes that's happened. But if we aren't changing with the times, ladies and gentlemen, you know, we may not survive. So we've got to change, and we've seen a lot of changes in Rotary. Bob, regardless of what you tell me, I was born at an early age. My kids kind of look at me crazy when I tell that. But you've all heard the poem, The Dash, I'm sure. You know, there's a marker on your tombstone from the beginning. One day, there'll be another date on it, the end. And in the middle is a dash between the beginning and the end dates there. And everyone in this room, trust me, is living the dash. And you're living the dash quite well with the service above self on a regular basis there. My dash, obviously, I've had, I'm old enough to have retired more than once in some part-time jobs or free jobs. Did you know that if you work for free, you can get a job? Absolutely. But in the fire service and the healthcare industry, I've had a lot of jobs, and with all those, you know, I've had a lot of different hats with those titles. In fact, Josh, they call me Mikey. You saw Mikey eating at the breakfast table with the cereal, and if nobody eat it, Mikey will. Well, my middle name was Mikey because Angel tells me I don't have enough sense to say no. So I had a lot of other jobs, but, you know, really involved, involved with the Mercy Management, Mercy Medical Services and Red Cross, and, you know, the list goes on. And when I was doing my, installation service, past District Governor Sam Adams, he went on and on and on, with my introduction. And as I got up to go on stage, my son, middle son, bumped me. He says, all that means is you've been around a long time. But the biggest thing, the most important thing in my dash, and I'm sure yours too, is I'm a husband, a father, a grandfather, and yes, a great grandfather. And that's a very, very important component of my dash. We've all had those life experiences that are very, very important to us. But the question is, Bob, where does Rotary come in your dash? Obviously, I've been president, assistant governor, and the list goes on. I've had a lot of hats in Rotary because I don't have enough sense to say no. In fact, when you join, I don't know, in Rotary orientation, the only time that you can say no when asked, reference Rotary is, do you want to join Rotary? Okay. Other than that, no is not permissible. Our international president, Shakar Mehta, he says, grow more to do more. Grow more to do more. Bob, this is the test. 10 years ago, how many Rotarians were in this world? 1.2 billion. Okay. Today, how many Rotarians are in this world? 1.2 million. So we're not moving the needle, are we? Okay. We seems like we gain 1.2 and lose 1.2. So it's a challenge. But our international president says, listen here, guys, we need 1.3 million. So he's trying to get us over the hill there. In order to do that, each one bring one. So that's real important. Everybody in this club brought one this year, double the size of this class. We make it harder than it is. And it just takes a little effort to ask. But even more important is keep one. If we gain 1.2 and lose 1.2, good gracious, if we keep the majority of that 1.2, we've done a tremendous work. I saw a story the other day and it kind of caught my attention. It brought to me, how we treat our fellow Rotarians, the family of Rotary here. There was a guy that he was in church, sitting beside his wife, and like a lot of us, Bob, his cell phone went off right in the middle of the preacher's prayer. Boy, did his wife get on to him hard. The members beside him and around him really got on to him hard. I'm talking about chastising. When the sermon was over, the preacher really got on to him hard, and he took it serious. He was really shook up. And guess what? All the way home, his wife continued to get on to him. Guess what? He never stepped foot in that church. He was just so upset with himself. I don't know what religion he was, but that afternoon he went to the bar down. So in the bar, his hand was still trembling, and he spilled his drink. The janitor ran over there and mopped up the floor. The barmaid came over and gave him a napkin and kind of cleaned him up a little bit. The bar owner came over and gave him a hug and a peck on the cheek. He said, don't worry about it. Everybody makes mistakes. Josh, he never quit going to that bar again. So that's kind of like our Rotarians. If we have Rotarians that don't feel wanted, needed, and respected in this club, they might not stay with us. I know with the hospital, we kept trying to figure out why our employees kept leaving. They stayed 1 month, 6 months, 1 year, and they'd be gone. And when we did interview some, it was because they did not feel welcome in their own work environment. So we've got to do a good job of taking care of our own members and respecting them. So the best customer you have, Archie, is which customer? The one you got, because they gonna go out and tell you what a tremendous vehicle that Chevrolet is, and they gonna convince their friends and neighbors to buy Chevrolet. Okay. And that way Archie doesn't have to go out and say, just yours. But it's just as important to keep these members in the club. you know, we all have priorities in life, and giving back is part of our culture in Rotary. But I don't care what you say, Bob, Rotary is not number one in my life. Absolutely not. What's number one? Faith, family, finance. There's some things that you got to take care of before you can do the Rotary thing, for sure. But Rotary is pretty high on the list, for sure, because we have a heart of service, and you know, life is pretty busy, especially young people like Josh. He's got a career, trying to pay for the house, got a house full of kids and a wife, and he's got to take care of those priorities there. But if you've got a heart of service, you've got to have an element of giving back, and that's part of that in that dash we're leaving here. Part of our circle of priorities is service to mankind, and why not through Rotary? This is my question. Rotary is an excellent way to give back. You've heard this before, I'm going to repeat it. Service is the rent I pay for the space I occupy on this earth. Lester, do you think anything's free in this world?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
Just faith in God.
Well, you have spoke the truth, sir. But for the most part, on this earthly world we live in, there's nothing free. And the spot that I'm standing in right now, there's a price to pay for that spot. And I'm telling you, it's service back to humanity. You know, we can't take anything away from our other organizations here in this community. They do a wonderful job, but I'm telling you, there's no service organization like Rotary in this world. With the Rotary commitment, the Rotary Ripple, every time, you know, Josh comes up with a brilliant idea, he tosses that Rotary stone in the water, and that ripple starts occurring, and he gets other members excited, and all of a sudden, before you know it, we have 1.2 million behind your idea, Josh. So that's pretty important. But just think of what this Rotary worldwide organization does, you know, promoting peace, very important. You know, today, 42 million people are displaced by armed conflict. What does Rotary do? There's a lot of things they do to promote peace. Did you know, Bob, that 100 million people are pushing to poverty each day because of medical costs? Rotary worldwide fights disease. Did you know that more than 2.5 million people lack access to adequate sanitation, and 3,000 people, or 3,000 children rather, die each day from diarrhea diseases? Rotary helps provide clean water. And good gracious, saving mothers and children, 7 million children under 5 each year die from malnutrition, poor health. And, you know, we can put a man on the moon, but we can't feed the baby. You know, there's a lot of reasons why, but it's still a shame. And then 1.4 billion with a billion employed people, that's employed people, live on less than $1.25 a day. Could you do that, Lester?
No,
Me either.
I could, but my wife could.
Rotary helps grow local economies. What a business model for the ages. The International Rotary Organization, the Rotary Foundation Network, the Rotary Guiding Principles, areas of focus, object of Rotary. You know, we got all these things we say and do, and certainly before we test is important. So everything that we think of and we believe in makes a difference in this world, for sure. Let me share the Rotary mission statement. It simply says this, ladies and gentlemen: we provide service to others, promote integrity, and advance world understanding, goodwill, peace, and through our fellowship of business, which is real important, profession, and community leaders, we can certainly make a difference. So this 4-week test that we talk about, business principles, whether you're sitting in church, the way you act, the way you're doing business every day, is all real important there. So I am extremely proud to be, you know, part of this organization and what it means to the community. Is making a difference to people in the world important to you? And I'm speaking to the choir, Mr. President. And I'm gonna repeat some things that our international president Miller says, grow more to do more. We need 1.3. All you gotta do is ask, okay? One new member for every Rotarian each year, bring one, and don't forget about the one you got, the most important customer you have. Let me repeat this, but rephrase it just a little bit. Service is the rent we pay for the space that we occupy on this earth. The bottom line, Bob, is we are Rotary, and we are service above self. Now, I have some advertisements I need to share with you a little bit. The Rotary District Leadership, Ms. Azar, is available, and we're here to help. Dale's be looking at her leadership team very shortly. She may be calling on some club members to fill some slots. But the leadership team is very important. The average Rotarian probably doesn't understand everything that goes on in the district wide, and they probably don't understand a lot of things that go through the Rotary International, the Rotary Foundation. But our job is to try to educate what the club does on a regular basis. And all the programs they do is absolutely amazing, and this is one of the premier clubs in the district. I can promise you that. But it's all important. My granddaughter asked me a while back. She said, "Papa, are you gonna die one day?" And I said, "Baby, I sure am." I said, "One of my jobs is to get out of you young people's way, to let you blossom and grow and become a wonderful service to this community." So the bottom line is, and I do have a bone to pick with Mother Nature, James. She has taken hair at a sunspot and then stuck it in other spots that has absolutely no business. I noticed the guys laughing, the women didn't. So and then she put a seed in us, Josh, to help us repopulate the world. Okay, Josh is doing a wonderful job there. But so Mother Nature does a lot of wonderful things there. But if we don't repopulate the world, what happens? It eventually dies and fades away. If we don't repopulate Rotary, what happens? It dies and fades away. In this world, and the people that depend on what Rotary does, the service above self, they absolutely can't do without Rotary. And it's the Rotarians in this room and the current Rotarians throughout the world. It's our job to make sure that we repopulate Rotary and we continue doing good in the world. Our youth programs are important. We've got a number of initiatives. Mr. COVID has kind of froze us in place right now because we got a lot of initiatives we haven't pushed out, trying to see what in the world this COVID is going to do. I know all of you, Rotary's not the only ones being felt by Mr. COVID. I know every business in this room is being affected. But we're going to have to make a decision soon, and we may just move forward and see what happens. We have to cancel at the last second, so be it. But my wife's 50th high school reunion is next Saturday. Well, Bob, I may say it was last Saturday. They've had deaths, in fact, a COVID death of a classmate just a few days ago, and other things going on, and they didn't cancel it because they held on to the money. But they did postpone it for a period of time to see what happens. So I'm no different than everybody else in this room. The bottom line is we don't want to make the wrong decisions. And we do have a political climate and a financial climate that looks totally different to me, Bob, than it did a year ago or 2 years ago, because they were shutting down everything. Right now, we're moving forward. Kids are going to school. But when you get out there in the real world, I've got 3 family members on respirators right now. I've had a ton of family members that's had the COVID and survived and is recuperating. So it's still concerning and scary. But the bottom line is we can't let that stop Rotary for sure. We believe in the avenues of service which are real important. We believe in the Rotary four-way test. And James, I don't care what you say, it's not all about the dollar. It's all about what the dollar can do. Where does the dollars come from? Membership, of course. Without the dollars, you can't do your projects and services, do all the wonderful things we do throughout the world. So it's all one big circle of important things. So keep that in mind. Yep, no, Rotary's not number one, but it's sure high up on the list there. Service is the rent we pay for the space we occupy on this earth. And Mr. President, I appreciate the time today. Thank you, James, for being the assistant governor for Area 8. He's already set the woods on fire, visiting his clubs and communicating and doing other things. So thank you for this time. If I let you out a few minutes early, I know you won't be mad, or you will.
That's a good thing today.
Okay. All I'd ask is, thank you for your service in Rotary, and please, please, please be careful out there.
Thank you, Bruce, and thank you for your leadership. You have done a lot. Next week's program, Cal Whaley, beekeeping. It's gonna be good. And this week, Seth, thank you for greeting everyone as they came in. Brandon, thank you for being here with us today. We enjoyed having you. And so let's have our four-way test now. So all the things that we think, say, or do.
Is the truth, is fair to all concerned, will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Sure. Thank you for being here. Be safe during the storm.